Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? I just have a few announcements to make. I got an email from Bob today telling me that he's going to post the next, an article on Tantra on my website on tomorrow instead of Saturday. So if you're interested, I think you'll get something out of it. Certainly is a wonderful painting that I've included of a Mahasiddha, 18th century Tibetan painting. I mean, it's becoming a gallery of really beautiful art, beautiful Tibetan art. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? Look, Thanksgiving is coming. And, it's a time of gratitude. It's a time of sharing gratitude with family, friends, people. And I think it's a wonderful time of the year because, as I always say, gratitude is the key to opening the heart. It changes us. Just feeling gratitude in the heart changes a human being. Because suddenly the heart opens. In order to feel gratitude, you have to open your heart. And I don't think there's anyone alive that doesn't have something that they're grateful for. If you're not grateful, you're really dead, You've cut off all the gifts, the sacred nature of life. You cut yourself off from God without having gratitude in the heart. And it's the fastest way in our meditation practice to get the heart open. And, Thanksgiving is just simply a reminder of this. That's all it is. It's something that there should be Thanksgiving every day. A deep sense of gratitude for just the miracle of life. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, I have a question.
Yes, Bob.
In part 3 of this Tantra series, you wrote, as the chakra system develops, internal strength and balance enables one to draw Shakti from the Hara through the sex to the base of the spine, and darker states of our humanity undergo change. So my question is, how am I a part of this process of the change, or does it just transpire? Is it where?
If you do it, Bob, it will transform your whole inner life, and it will also make your way of communicating with the world. You'll see the world differently. You'll begin to recognize the sacred nature of everything around us, which is, I say all the time, it's our teacher. But you've got to build a system inside that enables you to do it. Once that system is in place, once that chakra system is working, you understand, it transforms the way we look at the world. Because then the heart is open, the mind is quiet. If the mind is quiet, we're beginning to receive knowledge and wisdom, that doesn't come from our IQ or our brain, but it comes from the source of all creation in the universe. and the sexual energy is transforming the human into the spiritual. Everything works inside. But our job is to develop this system and, not to play at it, not to, assume roles in life and, but to truly develop a system inside oneself that enables us to connect with higher energy in the universe and to also be able to live consciously in the world so that we do two things at once. One, we're connected to the Shakti, the energy, which is nurturing us inside. And secondly, we're using that Shakti, that energy, to work out our karma. And that comes with, that's what this meditation is for. That's all it's for, to build that kind of inner life. That's why Rudy developed it. It's what he used to develop his inner life and why he became this extraordinary being. And it cuts through all the bullshit, all the ritual, the chanting, it gets right to the source of what a human being has to do in order to get their spiritual enlightenment, to develop. As he really always talked about, it's like playing a one-man band, the development of the chakra system. Now, this is intimidating to people because people go, well, I have to do, yes, we're born here to learn how to do this. And that's all this meditation is about. This meditation, as I've said 800,000 times, it's not a spiritual life. It's a craft to build an inner system that enables us to have a spiritual life. And one of the reasons people get so calm and quiet is so they can begin to receive that knowledge. The heart can open. They're not so cluttered with their own, tension that it dams up the works. We have to undam the works. And that happens when that system is being built inside. And, look, this whole thing is really simple, but it's not easy. But it's simple. The equation is very simple. Do your inner work, build a chakra system, you will become enlightened. Equals, you will become, a person living with higher consciousness. But people are up against the most difficult person there is on the earth to be up against, which is themselves. But then one has to reevaluate their choices, their preferences, how they want to spend their time. I mean, it's all a question of priority and reevaluating what gives one their life. And whatever it is, it's a gift from God. It's what I do or Rudy did or what anyone does. It's a gift from God, and we have to really make that commitment. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you, Stuart.
Excuse me?
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, Bob. Did somebody else have a question? Well, when I know and I understand what I'm talking about is not easy. It's like the ultimate revolution, transformation of oneself. It's not easy to do. But living in this crazy world isn't easy either. Either we do something about ourselves, or that's what we got. And what is it all about? You know, it's really about what? Love, being happy, joy. That's what the whole thing is about. We come to the earth to learn how to be happy people. That's what we're here for. And if you think about it, that's extraordinary. It's so simple. You become a happy person, you will work out your karma. Because in order to do that, you've got to detach yourself from all of the bullshit. You know? I mean, bullshit, you know, your jobs, your family, your this, your that. You got to be able to deal with all of it with an open heart. And I think, what does everybody want here? I mean, people want to be happy. You know, everything we do, you know, is pointed towards that goal. You know, the 100th pair of shoes we buy is going to make us happy. The house we live in, and nothing does. It does. It turns us on for the moment, and then it all just becomes sterile, you know? I remember when I lived in Woodstock, the greatest selling point was the view. Terraces and balconies with views that went 10 miles across the mountains. And it was, you know, I tell you, I was living there a month and I never looked out, I never saw the view. You know? I mean, I was so busy doing my life that, you know, periodically I'd go on the porch and, you know, look out and survey the extraordinary, you know, landscape that surrounded the house. But that's with people, you know, somebody wins the lottery and, you know, the first month they're all blah, 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 and then they have the job of being a billionaire. I mean, it's a big job to be a billionaire, you know, a lot of tension and people grabbing at you and wanting your money and this one, every, you know. I remember once I was walking on the street with Rudy and they had a thing called the sweepstakes thing. It's kind of like the lottery. And I just looked there. It was a big headline in the newspaper. I said, boy, wouldn't it be great to win that? And his response was, Stuart, it would kill you. It would be the end of your life.
Wow.
That was his response. You know, and he was right. My life is a product of years of working on myself, having to deal with huge money situation. It was situation. And it all grew out of that. Being able to open and embrace everything that life had to teach me and use it to grow in my life. I don't know if you just, like you said, it'll be the end of your life if you ever did that, if that ever happened. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Remember, I once wrote a poem when I was in college, actually. Still have it, actually. One of the ones that survived my manuscript being burnt to Big Indian. And it all had to do with this young person who's climbing a mountain. And he's halfway up the mountain and he can't see the top and he can't see the bottom. But he knows he has to continue to climb. And the last sentence in the poem is, "The struggle is all there is." This is before I met Rudy, you know? The struggle is all there is. That's the greatest area of learning, is struggling to get from one cliff to the next cliff. And doing it with joy and love. Struggle doesn't mean being miserable. It means you do the job you have to do in life, that's all. And you do it with love, with openness, with gratitude. Thanksgiving is coming, with gratitude. Does anyone else have a question? Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a class on Thanksgiving. We'll see. I'll let you know by Monday, Wednesday. I don't think so, because people are all over the different time elements and family and this and that and cooking and so. But we'll see. I'll let you know. Does anyone else have a question? Thanks. Okay. Well, again, bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be a class Sunday, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you.